The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guest do not reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and the network.
Mabuhay! You're in the right channel, TLC. And of course, this is Lee on Motivationalee. I would like to ask you, do you still have the strong visions in life? And what are those? And how old are you, by the way? Do you still dream of going to a different country just to study, perhaps? Live, work, or just visit? It doesn't really matter. Let's make things happen because you're in the right channel. Obviously, it is great to migrate with Lee every Friday, 7 p.m. AEST Melbourne time. And of course, it's 5 p.m. in the Philippines. Wherever you are, please adjust. So catch me. Don't forget every Friday, the different visas and testimonies as well when it comes to migration. So see you then. Let's talk. Bye. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're all comfortable right now, or maybe having your dinner or your breakfast, whatever you do. Please stay with us until we finish later on. And always remember, I would like to share this beautiful quote from the Bible itself that I always love to share this to all of my friends all over the world. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and love always perseveres. Good evening once again, everyone. Good morning, whatever you're doing right now. Welcome back to our TLC. Again, it is great to migrate. Only with Lee, and of course with Aniti later on, and I'll show you again what are the most important thing to do when it comes to love. Love conquers all. And to Loretta, thank you so much, Coach Loretta, for tuning in. And at this time, it is very interesting and a very interesting topic. And also very exciting for those who are in love right now. You know, a long distance relationship. It will work. It might work for others. It might not work for others. But let's see what we can do. And our topic for this afternoon, and it's we are on our third episode for season one for It Is Great to Migrate. Migration, remember, with Lee, only here on TLC. Season three is all about partner visa. Subclass 820-801-309-100, and of course, prospective marriage visa. And the most important thing is we've got someone who can elaborate this, who can actually help you understand what you can do in order for you to make your dreams come true and get married and meet the love of your life, your destiny, your serendipity. Without further ado, let's all welcome with three big claps none other than the director of Way to Oz Migration and Education Services. Let's welcome Niti Hara. Woo, hi, Niti. Good
Hello,
evening
everyone.
to
How are
you.
you?
I'm sure they're all, really excited to come and join us
Absolutely.
today.
It
Even
is a
some of
very
you
interesting
guys,
topic.
definitely. And even some of you might say, partner visa, prospective marriage visa. I couldn't relate to this because I'm already married, I've got a relationship. It's so tune in with us, and maybe you can share this live broadcast, and it's recorded as well after this. You can share this to all the people or some people who needs to get informed about this visa coming to Australia, right, Niti?
Absolutely.
How's everything? How's
Everything is
everything
good.
going?
Very exciting week. Very exciting week for
Nice,
us.
nice. And
Yeah.
what's the best thing? Sorry, Niti. What's the best thing, Niti? Because I have spoken to you a few days ago, but I would like to know. I'm just curious because you're happy a lot.
what's the best thing that has happened to you today or this week or even today? Share
I'll share
something
two
before we
things
can.
actually, not just one. I'll share two key things. One,
Okay.
we managed to get offshore student visa grant for someone whose visa was refused multiple times previously, and that applicant was at one stage was unlawful in Australia. It was a very complicated case. It took a while, I'll be honest, but in the end, the most important is we got it. So that's the happy. That was
So
a big
proud.
achievement. And the second one, which has just come half an hour ago from our Prime Minister of Australia. So parents of Australian citizens or PR who are fully vaccinated are now exempt from travel restriction. It's a big news all over the media. You can go on my
Got that.
Facebook page and see that too, because I know lots of people, Australian citizens and PR, who are looking forward to get their parents, and they have not seen their parents for a long time. It's a
Yeah,
big news.
it's hard.
So I'm really excited. I'm really happy with that news.
I'm very happy and excited as well. And first and foremost, I'm very proud of you, of course, of the whole way to us, our
Thank
team.
you.
So happy for the accomplishment, and we've made someone's dream come true. And
Absolutely.
a bit of like a bit of a hurdle there, but at least we've
Yeah.
won the battle.
We won
Thank
it.
God for
That's
that.
most
Whoever you
important. Yes.
are, congratulations, Janiti.
Thank you.
You are very knowledgeable with what you do, and of course, I'm very proud to be part of Way to Us. Of course, thank you for that. And of course, for those who have parents at this time, if you were able to hear or listen to what Niti has mentioned, or if you've missed that, you can actually, this is going to be recorded, so you can just replay this as well. So again, thanks Niti for that wonderful job, great job, and a wonderful news, and the best thing that had happened this week. Awesome. You deserve a weekend rest with your cup of tea.
Yoo-hoo. Yes, weekend arriving. Yoo-hoo.
Because we're still locked down, right?
Yeah.
You can pamper yourself, perhaps, get off from the computer, and you can have a day off, of course. What an accomplishment. Salute. Thank you for that. Now, Niti. Hey, Loretta and Ida is here. Thank you so much, guys. And for those my friends in Canada and America and in the UK, thank you so much, guys. I know some of you are still like almost, we're still half awake or half asleep. So, but thank you so much for dropping by as well. I appreciate your support. And to all our friends from the Southeast Asia, thank you so once again for dropping by this program. Migration is great to migrate with Lee, only here at TLC. Now, shall we start the ball rolling, Niti?
Absolutely.
Because it's love is in the air right now. Love is in the air. Yeah. Amanat is here. Thanks, Amanat, for tuning in. Now, Niti, there's a question here about, because again, season 1, 3rd episode, it's all about the partner visa and prospective marriage visa, right?
Yes.
Now, first thought, so we can be more organized with our discussion right now. Let's start with the partner visa. Can you tell us a little bit of, in your own humble understanding, about what is a partner visa, please? Thank you.
Yeah. So as the name suggests, this is a visa for married partners or de facto partners of Australian citizens, Australian permanent residents, and eligible New Zealand citizens to enter and remain permanently in Australia. There are 3 major subclasses for partner visa, and as you can see, they're running, under this video. But mainly they are divided into 2 categories: partner visa and prospective marriage visa. So prospective marriage visa is for intended marriage or fiancé visa, and partner visa is for people who are already in a married relationship, or they are in a de facto relationship, including a same-sex relationship. So that's what partner visa is. Now, partner visa can be applied offshore.
Great.
So if there are people who are sitting offshore and they're already married to Australian citizens and they're aspiring to come here, they can apply offshore. It can also be applied onshore. So people who are already here on whatever visa and they want to apply, they can also apply for onshore partner visa, which is a subclass 820 and 801.
That's good. Thank you so much for that, Niti. You have seen my. It's live, isn't it? You've seen my little
That's
child.
all right.
It's
That's the
me.
life of
You know, it's good.
us in a
It's live.
lockdown,
You know,
working
she
from home.
thought I'm just like.
All good.
She
That's
thought
the
I'm
world
just
we are
having a
living
little
in,
fun here.
Lee.
Of course, I am having fun here. Pardon?
I said that's the world we are living in lockdown. Beauty of working from
Yes,
home,
that's
and
right.
yes, looking after the family. So welcome
That's
to the
right.
new world.
We're multitasking as well. That's a fun bit. And I believe she's like looking at me. Oh, mommy's having fun. Of course, I'm having fun. Of course, Niti's here. We're giving a bit of an education as well all over the partner visa. Now, Niti, just to check, because you've said about de facto and all, you know, like the relationship and all that. And thank you for explaining about what is a partner visa, and there are two categories or stages right now. Can you expound a little bit about, because I always hear this de facto, and also like a, what does it mean? Like how to, like
So
when it comes to relationship and de facto
I'll explain. So marriage
and
is obviously if you
registering
are
their
legally.
relationship. Please, Nikki.
Absolutely. So if marriage is quite simple because you're legally married, you have an evidence to provide to the government that you're in a relationship, you are in a commitment, and you're legally married in your country, right? But
Yeah.
then there are partners who do not want to marry, but they are committed to each other. They've been living together for years, and they have a commitment to each other's relationship. But for whatever reason, they don't want to get into a marriage relationship, so they are called de facto. Now there are certain rules for de facto. People who are applying under a de facto category. And one of the key criteria is that they must be living together for 12 months because the government wants to, or the department wants to say that they have a commitment. So they want to see, have they been living for you? You just can't come together in 4 months' time and then say, I want to, you know what, I want to lodge a partner visa.
Yeah.
But there's another way to look at it. There are, at the same time, there are relationships where people have come together, and let's say they've been in relationship for, or they've been living together for 3 months, and they do not meet the criteria for 12 months. In that case, they can still, if they register their relationship with the state's birth, death, and marriage department, so they are actually announcing they're registering their relationship, that's they can also apply under the de
That's
facto category, but their relationship is registered.
registered. Yeah,
Right?
and it's recognized.
Yes, because this visa, for this visa, there's a lots of scrutiny and lots of assessment that undergoes by the department takes for this partner visa. So there are we call it something like 4 pillars or 4 things that are very important in a relationship to demonstrate for this partner visa, and this is how the department assess those relationships as well. And those 4 pillars are, the first one is financial aspects of the relationship. So they like to say, do they have joint bank statements? Do they share a property? Do they share their bills? So they look at the financial aspects. They also look at
I see.
the second one is nature of household. So do they have a household commitment? Do they share their work? How do they live in a house? And as a partner, you have to demonstrate that, right? But now this particular pillar, it's little. Obviously, you cannot demonstrate if you're offshore because you're not living together. But this is where
That's right.
you put your future plans. That this is what you aspire. You know, this would be your nature of household when you move. The third aspect is social aspect. So your relationship should be public, not private. People should know you are a couple, right?
You can
And
post on Facebook. Yeah.
they're on Facebook. So the relationship has to be public, not saying they have to be on Facebook because some people don't like it, but it can't be a private relationship. People need to evidence and yes, we know these people as a partner. They're a
partner,
couple.
yeah. Good.
And the fourth pillar is nature of commitment. And where you can actually talk about or provide evidence that how over the years, what would be the development of the relationship, what would be the future plans. So department looks at these four pillars very carefully and make their assessment based on this for any partner visa application.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. So it's like a requirement, isn't it? Requirements.
Absolutely,
These
absolutely. That's
four pillars.
department's criteria.
That's right. So it's financial account, nature of the commitment
Financial, yeah, financial aspect, social aspect, nature of
relationship.
commitment, and nature of
It must
household.
be like, there you go, and the household commitment. So there are four requirements. Good. Thank you for that, Niti. Wonderful, wonderfully explained. Now, there's a question here, Niti. They've heard that in applying a partner visa, uh, there are two stages. Is that
Yes,
right? Okay. Would
absolutely.
you
So
mind?
it's a two-stage process that you apply for both the stages together, but the department gives you temporary visa at stage one. So let's say if you're offshore, they'll give you temporary visa 309, and partner can come here on a temporary visa to live with their Australian citizen sponsor. And they need to and then after 2 years of their relationship they can apply for the permanent stage, and that's when the department assess, right, you were in a continuing relationship and now we can give you permanent residency based on that,
That's
right?
good.
So
So,
it's a stage
yeah.
one and stage two.
Okay. So stage one is 2 years temporary
No, it's until the, no, it's not
visa.
two
Is that what
years
you meant? Did you
it
say
is
2 years?
until, no, it is until you apply for the next stage.
For the next stage.
Why I said 2 years is you become eligible to apply for the permanent, not apply, or the department comes and asks, now it's been 2 years, to apply for the next stage.
That's good. Thank you for that. Very well explained, Niti. And of course, you can replay this once again, guys, and you can also share this, season three, or it's not season one, episode 3 to all your friends who needs to know more about visa or prospective marriage visa. Now, there's another question here, Niti, if you don't mind me asking this. It's all about what if there is like a dependent, like both of the of the applicant, are offshore perhaps. Can the child or children, the dependent, can be included in the application?
Absolutely, they can be included as long as the application was made at the same time and at same place. What I mean by is if both the applicant and the dependent is offshore or they're both onshore, they can include the children in the application.
There you
Things
go.
are different when one is onshore, as in Australia. By for our viewers, by onshore I means people who are in Australia,
Yeah, that's right.
and anyone if they're outside, they're offshore. So if the applicant is onshore and the child is offshore, then it's a different process. So they might have to wait till the applicant gets the first stage granted, or sponsor might have to go through a child visa. So that's a separate process. But they can be included as part of the same application if they're at the same place.
I see. I was about to ask that because someone asked about it. What if, the child or dependent is offshore and
Yeah.
the applicant is onshore in Australia? So you've already said that. Thank you so much for expounding on that. Now, there's another question here about, guys, you can also please drop your questions if in case you've got some queries about partner visa or prospective marriage visa. Please feel free to send us your questions here through your comments below here. Okay, please don't hesitate to send us your questions. Now, it's all about what if someone who has been granted a permanent visa, okay, or permanent partner visa. So they've had the two stages already, right? Stage one, stage two. But the relationship broke down. There might be
Okay.
a lot of maybe reasons out of that, Niti. So what if the relationship broke down and they've already been granted the permanent visa and they want to find another true love somewhere? Can they do that?
Right. So if, as you said, if they have already been granted the second stage, so they are permanent residents now of Australia, they can do whatever they want, right? But just so that
Yeah.
people do not abuse the system, there's a limit of 2 sponsorships. So someone who
Okay.
the relationship broke down for whatever reason, and now they want to sponsor another person, they can do it,
Mhm.
but they will have to wait at least for 5 years from the date of their own visa application. So there's something
I
called
see.
5 year sponsorship ban that applies both to the sponsor and the applicant, right? But I'd like to expand,
There
Lee,
you go.
on the
So they've got
situation.
to gain first.
Yeah, yeah, but I'd like to expand on the situation
Yes,
um,
please.
where an applicant has not got the second stage. Let's say they're still sitting on stage one, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, the relationship broke down, and that could be due to various reasons. They're either out of love, or the sponsor died, or there was a domestic violence. Now,
Mhm.
the first one where they were out of love, that's bad luck. You're not in a long-term relationship, that you do not have a commitment, you cannot apply for permanent visa, right? The second one,
Mhm.
if the sponsor dies, or due to there is domestic violence that's happening, then there are provision, the applicants still go to the next stage
Mhm.
of permanent visa. So
Mhm.
there are provisions in law, in migration law, where
Mhm.
temporary partner visa holders, if they have suffered domestic violence, or if their partner has unfortunately passed away, they can still get the next stage, the permanent stage.
That's good. And that's good to know for those who are, this is a real talk, right? Not
Absolutely.
everything is a bed of roses when you're marrying someone, whether it's the same nationality or different culture.
Unfortunately, it's very commonly, especially the domestic violence,
Yes,
it's
true.
very common. And we have seen cases where sponsors, they, during that temporary stage, they threaten their partner that, I'll pull out the sponsorship if you don't do that.
Oh my God.
And the applicants are victim of domestic violence. So
Yes.
unfortunately, it does happen. So I think this is very important for applicants to know what their rights are and what they're
Yeah.
eligible for.
And this is good to actually bring this up right now because for those who are televiewers right now globally, and especially if you're in Australia, if you're suffering from any domestic violence, make sure you tell someone straight away. Don't leave it at the
Absolutely.
end, the last minute, and you are very proud already, and something might have happened already, like serious thing that had happened. Don't wait for that. Speak to someone that you can trust and ask for help at the same time. And this is really good news as well, Niti, that there is a chance, because some people are not really educated, or maybe misinformed about this privilege, that if they were actually if the love broke down because due to domestic violence, they thought that that's it.
That's it. Yes.
My dream is now falling and failing, go back to my original country. It's not. And you've just mentioned that there's a provision for that they can apply for permanent residency due to domestic violence. So guys,
Absolutely.
please share this with all, some people that you know who are undergoing this kind of dilemma, that it's not the end of the world, and their dream will still be there. It will still come true, and they will still be settled. And there's a department as well that would also help them. So thanks for sharing that, Niti. Thanks for sharing that. And just to clear, so if the relationship broke down not because of domestic violence but because they fell out of love, so they already had the second stage, which is permanent residency. They have that 5 years ban. Did you mention that? Someone's just asking here if you can repeat that. There's a 5 years
So, as I
important
said
time.
before, to avoid um, and to prevent people abusing the system, there's a limit of 2 sponsorship maximum per
Mhm.
person, and there's a ban of 5 years between. So, what that means is you have to wait for 5 years
Mhm.
from the visa application, at the time of the visa. Okay, let me rephrase. Sorry. So there is you cannot sponsor until 5 years of your previous application. And that date is from the date of visa application.
Great. Thank you for that. And I've got another question, but I think we need to pause for a while and let's come back to this very interesting topic about, prospective and partner visa. Let's just hear it from some few words from our sponsor. We are, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best to invest in 2021 is, of course, Mega World. For more information, please contact that number in front of your screen, or better message me on YouTube or my FB page so I can redirect to the right person whom you can contact for Mega World. And of course, the best migration services only here myself. It's Waitos Migration and Education Services. Welcome back, Niti. Let's get back to business. Let's talk about again. There's a question here about. I think we need to segue this another kind of visa, about prospective visa as well. So what if someone wants from offshore, so outside of Australia, wants to marry someone who is an Australian citizen or Australian resident? What could be the best advantage for them to apply, Niti, for them to get married?
Right. So
Or you can rephrase it if you want
that's
to.
where the prospective marriage visa comes into play. So subclass 300. Now, that visa is granted for 9 months because you are, it's also called fiance visa. Basically, an applicant is demonstrating that he or she wants to come to Australia to marry Australian citizen or PR. Right? And that applicant must be sponsored by Australian citizen, and they need to provide an evidence that they are getting married. So it could be the bookings and all that stuff. So this is for 9 months. And once they're here and once the marriage has taken place, they can then apply for partner visa, onshore partner visa, which means until that is granted, they can be on a bridging visa that allows them to stay here in Australia. So that's what the prospective.
And they can work as well?
They can work as well.
And they can work as well? That's good.
Yes.
That's good to know. And and when it comes to the requirement, Niti, is it the same as with the partner, the 4 pillars? Is that the same as well?
No, not for the prospective marriage, because the relationship hasn't happened as yet. It hasn't been. Right. They are getting into the relationship. Yeah. So that's why they apply for the partner visa, and this is our future plans, and they want to apply, and that's why stage 1 and stage 2 comes into picture.
There you go. That's good. So at least if they're applying again for the first
partner visa is an expensive visa. It is, the department's fees is 7,850, the partner visa. But if you are coming from prospective marriage visa and you're applying, the fees is much less, which is 1,310, I think, top of my head. But those applicants would have already paid 7,850 at the time of prospective marriage visa.
visa. Yeah, and that's good that they can have from the prospective visa transitioning to the permanent partner visa. At least they're not going to spend
Common.
more money because they've spent
To
already a
read,
lot during the
yes,
prospective marriage
correct,
visa.
correct. Yes,
That's good.
absolutely.
That's good. So correct me if I'm wrong. So with the dependent, whether offshore or onshore, it's still the same way of like applying. They can be included in the application, right? For is it the
It can be
same?
included in the application as long as they're together. If the dependent is elsewhere, they're not at the same place, then there are other pathways depending upon the location of the dependent, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sponsor might have to apply for a child visa later on, or the partner will have to wait to get the first stage granted, and then they can include the dependent in the application. So that's after the application has been put in place. So it's very important that both the dependent and the applicant, they are at the same place and the application is lodged together.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Niti, because the line was breaking up a while ago. So for the dependent, they can only apply for the dependent if they're already in the permanent visa application, or they can already start during prospective marriage visa application.
No, no, no. Okay. So for prospective marriage visa or partner visa, the dependents can be included as long as they're at the same place and they're included
Okay,
in the
either or.
same
That's good.
application. Yep. So that's
That's
the
good. That's good to
difference.
know. Beautiful. And it's good that they can, include the dependent, which is, some good points as well for them to remember, especially when it comes to long distance relationship with their family. It's really hard to cope as well. Do you have
Yeah.
any sort of like experience about this, Niti? Like not you, but clients itself, like who did the prospective visa, and how are they right now
Oh, there are many there, Lee.
and having that program?
People they came here on a prospective marriage visa. They were sponsored by an Australian citizen. They
Yeah,
got married here. They had collected during that 9 months. They had collected all the evidences, and then they
that's good.
applied for partner visa. There are many, and we see lots and lots of onshore applications for partner visa. And there could be another reason for that because and this is the beauty of partner visa, for the viewers who don't know. So people who are already in Australia, and sometimes life have different plans, and let's say for whatever
Mhm.
reason their visa was refused or cancelled, those applicants, they cannot apply for any other visa in Australia except for very few, while they are onshore in Australia. So they're called Section 48 BART applicants,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
means they cannot apply for any other visa. But there are few visas that can be applied even if the applicant is Section 48 BART, and partner visa is one of those. So there's still
Wow,
a
good
hope
to know that.
so there's still a hope for the visa applicants whose visa was refused or cancelled for whatever reason. And if they have found their love of their life
True
after
love.
true love, then at least they can apply. So that's another one to be kept in
How
mind and
amazing
really
is
important.
that? If someone like who's been denied for some of the visas, and they feel like
Yeah,
they're hopeless. But again, there is hope in everything that we do, and if they found that true love, it can save them and it can still make
absolutely,
their dream come true. And once they found a
absolutely.
true love, they can apply again. There's two stages, and that's it. Boom, they're happy living together. Well done,
Correct.
thanks for that. Is there any age limit for this, Niti,
Come on,
when
Lee.
it comes to love?
Love has no age.
Even if they're
Love has
70
no
years
age. We
old,
have
go for
seen
it. If
these
you want to
visas being
go for it.
granted for 60 years, 70-year old people as well.
Wow. I
Yeah.
thought I thought I was just joking a while ago, like 70 years old, come on. But
No, we have seen it. Yeah.
if the love is real and there's connection between the two of them, whether it's like
Absolutely.
how much distance is like million
Love is not
distance,
bounded
you know.
by age, caste, creed, color,
There's
race,
no limit,
religion.
isn't it? That's so
There's no
true.
limit.
That's so true. So, guys, what are you waiting for? If you love here in Australia or anywhere in the world, it's still, it we can make things happen. Just reach out to us, way to us, migration services, and we Niti and myself can also assist you. And of course, Niti will handle everything, and she knows she's very knowledgeable with all of these things. So, and Niti has already, as you have heard a while ago, she has already helped a lot of people making their relationship bloom, blossom, and even the most unexpected love. That's it. They're now living together happily ever after. It's like a fairy tale, but this is not a fairy tale. It's really a reality, isn't it? Right?
Reality.
No, Niti. No, Niti. There's someone's asking here. What if was there? Sorry, I just want to ask this. Was there an instant, Miss Niti, that someone onshore in Australia? I just want to read this. Found, let's say, their true love, and then the 5 years. Is there any other way that they can actually live together? Can they still live together even if there's a 5 year what you call that, 5 year ban?
Ban, sponsorship
If
ban.
both, like for example, I think what she's saying here is, if both of them came from a broken relationship, whatever is the reason is, okay, we don't know the reason, it doesn't say here on the question, but and there's could be one of them has a 5 year ban, and one is and the true love anytime and get married. Is there any can they still live together?
They can live together, but the applicant has to be on some sort of a visa to live in the country. And we take these cases, we assess these cases on case by case basis and say what options are available to that particular person or the individual depending upon the circumstances. So it could be different.
There you go. But thank you so much for sharing that. Now, for the prospective visa, what's the duration once again of the processing of the
It's
visa?
9. It's a visa granted for 9 months, but we have got a COVID concessions where now it can be granted. It's for 15 months.
Granted for 15 months. Okay, good. So it's like
Normally
19 to 15
15 months. It's a COVID concession.
I see. So 9 to 15 months, and then after they can get married, right? Here, obviously.
Between that time they get married. That's what the visa is for.
Yes, that's good. Thank you so much for that. Now, after the marriage, then they can apply for the partner visa, correct?
Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, there's a question here on through my messenger. If the child is offshore and the applicant is onshore, and you've mentioned that the child can be included in the application, right? You've mentioned that a while ago.
No, only if they are together. You are just saying
If the applicant is onshore,
if the applicant is onshore and they want to include their
onshore
and they want to include their dependent, then the dependent has to be onshore as well.
to be onshore as well. So if it's offshore, they
Then
cannot.
they cannot be included in the same application.
So it's separate.
It's a separate process. So after
I see.
the first stage has been granted, then we can look into either the dependent to be added, or sponsor can sponsor for child visa.
I see. Beautiful. And what if there's a follow-up question? What if the dependent from offshore is below 18 years old? A guardian can actually come with them, right? And of course, there's a separate visa again for the guardian. What if, like, the dependent is actually below 18 and needs to come here? Because let's say everything has been processed. That's the question here. Everything has been processed, but when the time that the
To
dependent
bring the child here.
is coming.
Are you saying to bring the child here so that he can be accompanied? Yeah, that could be on a visitor visa.
Yes.
He can be accompanied by
The guardian. Yeah. or the guardian.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's a separate process.
It's
So
a
it's
separate
gonna,
topic. It's nothing
yeah,
to do. Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for that. And that's from someone anonymous. She said that's okay. Now, Niti, one more question. It's more on the pandemic these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what can you say about this processing? Okay, how this affect the application, especially if they're on applying for permanent for partner visa? Do you want to expound on that, please?
Sure. So there are lots of concessions, COVID concessions that have been given to partner visa holders or those who are applying. And one of that we have already discussed, which is instead of a 9-month prospective marriage visa,
Mhm.
now it's for 15 months. There are some other concessions. So, you know how we've been talking about offshore partner visa and
Yeah,
onshore partner visa. Now,
that's correct.
offshore partner visa means the application was made offshore, and the grant, in normal circumstances, the grant has to be offshore. So, if someone has applied for 309 visa,
Hmm.
partner visa, while being onshore, in the normal
Hmm.
circumstances, they have to be have to be offshore to get the grant of that visa, right? But due to COVID, the concession
I
is
see.
if the 309 applicant is already here, first date has not been granted. So just in order to explain, let me put a scenario here. So an
Yeah,
applicant
please.
applied for from offshore, applied for
Hmm.
partner visa. While they are waiting, they still want to visit their partner and they apply on visitor visa and they come here just so that they can,
Okay.
you know, spend some time together.
True.
Now, during that time, let's say the department, because the processing of that 309 was taking place in the background, and now the department says, and this is in normal circumstances, by the way, the government says, now, right, we are ready to process, and but you have to be offshore. So the applicant has to fly back to get that visa granted because that application was made offshore, right?
Offshore. Yeah.
But in due to the concessions, COVID concessions, the department is
Hmm.
saying if you're a 309 subclass applicant
Hmm.
and you're here in Australia, you don't need to go. We'll give you a visa, right? Because of this travel restrictions. So that's a key one. So people who had already applied for 309 and they are in Australia for whatever reason, they don't have to
Hmm.
travel back to get the grant of that visa. So that's one
That's
concession.
good.
Yeah. Applicants who have already been granted the temporary visa
Hmm.
because they are immediate family members of Australian citizens or PR, they do not need travel exemption. That's another good thing. So you've been
Oh,
granted
that's good.
309. Yes, so you've been
That's
granted 309 the first stage. Although they are, remember, although they are temporary residents, they still do
Mhm.
not require travel exemption to come to Australia.
So no travel exemption for a
No travel
temporary
exemption.
partner
As long
visa.
as they, yes, as long as they have got the 309 granted, they don't need it. So
That's
these
good
are
to
the
know.
few COVID concessions that's been announced over the last 18 months. And that's
Mhm.
really helping the partner visa applicants and they can be together.
Wow, that's good. At least the government, of Australia is very understanding, about this so-called love, that
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
cannot be that painful to be far from one another, whether this is a intimate relationship, whether it's a family. That's how beautiful this country is,
On that lane, most
multi-diversified. Yes,
importantly, and this is a very, very good news, talking about the
yes,
government, the Department of
please,
Home
please.
Affairs, until 2019, the allocations for partner visa in a financial year were around 38,000. Since last year and this year again,
Wow.
the allocations are for partner visa are above 72,000. So that clearly
Doubled.
doubled. That clearly says that the department is focused and they want to make sure that the people who have commitment for a shared life, they're together. and they're processing partner visa. Normally, in a family visas, there are so many other categories, and we're not going to go through that in this
Yeah.
session. But just for viewers, family visas means parent, partner, child, relative, and all sorts of visas. There are a total of 77,000 allocation for family visa, of which only 72,000 are for partner visa. So look at the numbers there.
They're still big, and
Commitment of
this is the
yes, this is really, really big.
right
Big.
time, guys, to apply for this,
This is the right.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful news.
Yeah.
So many good news every time we're here, Niti, right?
That's
So please
yes.
share this to all your friends who needs to know more and be informed really well about partner visa and prospective marriage visa. So please don't hesitate to share this. It's on my YouTube channel, Motivationalee, and FB page, Motivationalee, and of course on Talk Live channel as well. So please don't hesitate to share this to all the people who needs to be informed really well about this visa. Now, Niti, or are there anything else that you want to add to this before we actually, pause for a quick break and come back to some of a few questions again? Last two questions, I believe. Do you have anything else to add? You're all good with that?
I'm all good.
Lovely. Yes, and I love that good news. Thank you so much for that. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back once again. It's great to migrate with Lee here only on TLC. And of course, we are also live simultaneously on my YouTube channel, which is Motivationalee. For those who have not yet subscribed, please visit my channel, like, share, and subscribe. And also, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as Motivationalee. And also, I'm on LinkedIn as well. So please, and also Niti as well is on those. And WhatsApp as well. Thank you, Niti, for showing me how to use the WhatsApp. It's very useful. Wherever you go all over the world, you can keep in touch, think about calling someone, using their own mobile number. So thank you for that, Niti. So good with the social media, isn't it? Right? Thank you. Now, Niti, I guess you've said a lot of good nuggets today about partner visa and prospective marriage visa. And again, love is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Today, from this day onwards is the right time if you are all in a relationship or you have friends who are in a relationship and they're planning to get married or doing or planning to apply for this visa. This time, as what Niti has mentioned, the government has doubled up the number. Again, how much is it again, Niti? 72,000, isn't it?
72,000.
Yes, so it's such a good number and it's a priority as well. So it's really good that you can start the ball rolling. And of course, don't forget to keep in touch with us, waytooz.com. Okay. And with that, Niti, before I wrap this up, someone is asking, would you mind if you could again cost of the application and also how to apply the visa?
What did you say? The cost
through
of the
Way to Us.
application?
The cost of the application, if you could repeat that again, someone is asking, and also how to apply through us.
Right. So the cost is, so you pay for the partner visa, it's 7,850 for the applicant. You pay for both the stages together. So when you're applying for the second stage, you don't have to pay again because the application is put in together. If you want to apply through Way to Oz, you've got our numbers listed. Contact us through WhatsApp, through Facebook, on our website. You can also email us at info@waytooz.com or contact Lee. Provide us with a description what the scenario is, what you're intending to do, who's the sponsor, and we'll pick it up from there.
Beautiful. And it's just running in front of you guys about our website, way2oz.com. And the numbers are in front of your screen, mine and Niti as well. Or you could also reach Way to Oz on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Hi, baby. I'm still not finished here. Okay, right. Thanks for that, Niti. And of course, how to, again, anytime you can contact us, Monday to Sunday.
There's a
But of course, we've
contact
got a
us
weekend
form.
off.
Lee, there's a contact us form on way2oz.com as well. They can contact us and put their query there as well through our website.
That's good to know, Niti. And again, it's just in front of your screen right now, guys. And share this to all your friends, to all the people who needs to know and who wants to get in touch with us, so we can start assessing them, and start after that we can start assisting them as well when it comes to applying the partner visa as soon as possible. Today, from this day onwards, this is the great time to apply. Thank you very much for that. Now, Niti, for next week,
Yep.
before I wrap this up, it's also very interesting because for next week, which is the 22nd of October, I have invited someone who had a visa, partner visa, and such a beautiful, wonderful journey as well. From day one up to now, that she's very much settled. You may laugh, cry, laugh again. So please tune in with us next week, 22nd of October. Of course, same time, same channel, only here in TLC. And please don't forget to, listen to her story, having that experience, having that partner visa, and up to now what she's doing, and what she's looking forward from today onwards. So please don't forget, again, to make sure that you subscribe in my channel so you get notified as well when it comes to the different shows every week. So again, my Motivationalee YouTube channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course WhatsApp and LinkedIn as well. And of course, Niti, I've got my website as well. Please check out my website and check the variety of services that I offer to you guys on www.motivationalee.com. So you can see there, I'm a life coach. I coach, direction coach, career and income, relationship, faith, and all that. And of course, wellness when it comes to self-doubt, self-confidence. What else? Stress, burnout, performance outcome. And not only life coaching, I also do team building. What else? Hosting, jack of all trades. So please come and visit my website at motivationalee.com, and you can also book for a free consultation. So let's talk. All right. So Niti, any sort of special message you want to tell the whole world who are watching right now? Please.
This is all about love, partner visa. So those who are all aspiring to be in Australia with their partners, with their Australian citizens or PR partners, now is the time.
Correct. So please don't forget to share this to all of your friends. And I would like to once again, each one of you to see you again next time. And don't forget, love sees no age, no limit, no boundaries. Love alone can revive life, can rekindle life, isn't it, Niti? And again, there's no age limit. You come to love not by finding the perfect person, but by seeing the imperfect person perfectly.
So rightly said.
So again, we're so in love right now. Love hard, okay? And they do this as well in other countries. So that's love. So again, thank you once again, guys. See you again next time. Same time, 8 p.m. here, AST. And wherever you are, please adjust for our fourth session again for our first season. When it comes to migration, it's great to migrate only here with Lee on TLC. Thanks, Niti. Have a good evening, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. Happy days. Bye. Take care.